Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. Our mission is to see a world well led. And our strategy to get there? To empower leaders like you to lead every day. So let's get to work.
Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. I'm Randy Gravitt.
And I'm Mark Miller.
And we hope you are pursuing uncommon greatness. You have no excuses if you're not. The book is out in the world. We're hearing great feedback. Congratulations. We launched yesterday. I'm pumped about that. But this uncommon greatness, there really is greatness in you. I hope you're pursuing the right kind of greatness. That's where we started talking about. And Mark, last day of season 2 here. We've been looking for these last several weeks at these 5 fundamentals, really the job description of any leader. We got leaders all over the world listening. You have no excuse now, as I said, not to have a leadership point of view and framework to think about it. This is what leaders do, and I'm delighted today that we get to review a little bit. And I would encourage people who are listening, if you've got one of these that's your biggest area of opportunity, lock in on that today. I think we'll give you some action items, some things that you can think about, might help you get a little better.
Yeah, so let's launch from the point that we're all in agreement we'd like to pursue uncommon greatness. There's only one path, and it's uncommon leadership. And so these 5 fundamentals will help put you on the path to uncommon leadership.
Yeah, it's so great. So the first fundamental we talked about, and you chose it in the book, is to see the future. Mm-hmm. Leaders have to see the future. And why did you feel like that was one of the fundamentals to start with?
Well, leadership always begins with a picture of the future. And we talked about this, I think, a month ago. Too many leaders forfeit that opportunity. They actually forfeit their agency. I might even argue they forfeit their leadership, because if you're not trying to help people and organizations move to a preferred future, then I would say by definition, you're not leading. Perhaps you're managing. I'm not sure what you're doing, but leadership always begins with a picture of the future. So that had to be the first among equals of the fundamentals.
Yeah, I love that. And as I think about this idea of seeing the future, we live in a world that is so complex and so fast, and your business may be going at just this frenetic pace. And I've said here on the podcast a few times, but if the vision is fuzzy to you, it's going to be blurry to the people, or maybe it's not. They may be blind when it comes to the vision. So if you don't see it and you don't share it, you're not going to be able to take people there. And that sharing it part was the second fundamental. It was a part of the second fundamental, the idea of engaging and developing others. There's power when we have an engaged group of people around us, but when we look at the statistics, it's pretty sad right now.
It is sad.
There's a struggle going on.
And we have an opportunity, and I would say a responsibility as leaders to help people care deeply about their work, their coworkers, their customers, and their organization. The engagement level of your people is a direct reflection of your leadership. And if it's not where you want it to be, you can change it.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so cool. People don't leave organizations, they leave leaders. I love that reminder, Mark. Okay, fundamental number 3. This was a big one. Especially in the changing world, we said that we want to reinvent continuously. And we gave them some ways to think about that.
Yeah.
Give them that little framework.
Yeah, we gave them some hooks to think
exactly.
about how do you reinvent yourself, how do you reinvent systems or work processes, and how do you reinvent structure. And those 3 cues can guide a lifetime of reinvention.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, fundamental number 4. What was that one? We talked about the
value results and relationships.
And most of us we lean.
We have a bias.
Right? Yeah, that's right.
We have a natural wiring. When we enter a room, when we enter a situation, we encounter a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity. We either tend to think about the results more, or we think about the relationships more. And as we said during our previous episodes, I would never suggest that we try to change you. You are who you are. You have unique contributions to make to any situation. But what we've learned over time is the best leaders learn to value both. So you've got to own your bias, and you've got to compensate for those things that you don't do naturally well. And when you do, there is tremendous power released when you can embrace the genius of the and, as our buddy Jim Collins talks about.
Yeah, that's great.
Results and relationships.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so fundamental number 5 was my favorite. I think it might be the most important of the fundamentals as well. All the first 4 are rooted in skills of a leader, but this 5th one is is rooted in a leader's heart. Talk to us about.
Embody a leader's heart.
That's it.
Yeah, if your heart's not right, nobody cares about your skills. There are far too many men and women in the world with the skills to lead, but they don't have followers. And they don't have followers because people don't trust their heart. And so we encouraged you in that previous episode, you may want to go back and listen to it or take a look at it, that above all else, you need to guard your heart. For everything you do as a leader will flow from your heart.
All right, so as we wrap this up, I want you to go back through these 5 fundamental skills of leadership. And I want you to think about it today. As I started, I said, is there one in your life that is the biggest area of opportunity? Do you have a picture of the future, what you see, like where you want to take people? And if you don't, I would encourage you to give some thought to that. That might be that is the place, as Mark said. You can't invent it if or you can't take people there if you can't see it in your own mind. If you want a better future, invent it, I think was the quote we used a few weeks ago.
Leaders are the architects of the future.
They're the architect. I mean, I love that. To engage and develop others. Who in your organization right now doesn't appear engaged and needs to be developed? That's on you as a leader. You've got somebody maybe that comes to mind. Is there an area in your leadership, maybe an area in your life, a system, structure, whatever, your business that needs to be reinvented, something you need to do differently? If you want different results, if you want better results, you have to do something different. To value results in relationships, is there something there that comes to mind? Or this idea of embodying a leader's heart. You got all that other stuff, but it's just like your heart's not right. As Mark said, people are not going to want to follow that. And so maybe there's something there for you. If you're watching on YouTube, you've noticed that the 5 fundamentals, they actually are in an acronym that spells the word SERVE: to see the future, to engage and develop others, to reinvent continuously, value results in relationship, and to embody a leader's heart at SERVE. I know that was an important part of this originally when this content was written, and it still is today, Mark.
Yeah, it's a countercultural idea, and it has been for thousands of years, but the best leaders are serving leaders. They are not self-serving leaders. And that's our challenge. That's our mandate. That's our cause, is to serve the people that we've been given the opportunity to lead.
So, Mark, you've done a great job writing this book. As we wrap up season 2, have you got a final word for us to help us land the plane here?
Well, it's the final word I offered during our live stream. I don't know if any of our audience had the opportunity to see that or to experience that.
Now, let me interrupt. By the way, that is available. If you've not
Sure.
seen that, Mark did a whole hour on this, and we spent some time. It's on the website. So
Sure.
I don't know if you remembered that, but leadeveryday.com, they can get that. But
Yeah. So it's the same word of encouragement. It's you were born for greatness, uncommon greatness, but you got to take a step. And for many of you, it's going to be a leap of faith, but it is going to be worth it. I'm reminded of a quote from George Washington Carver. He said that when you do the common things in life in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world. Well, I think that's true, but I think there's a greater benefit. When you learn to master the fundamentals of uncommon leadership, you'll do far more than command the attention of the world. You can change your world. Be uncommon.
That's so good. That's so good. Well, I love you, buddy. I'm proud of you. It's a great book. I'm excited about it. I can't say it any better than that. And I love you guys too. We're so grateful that all of you are on this journey with us. Got new content coming out. Season 3 starts tomorrow. Excited about that. Last reminder, always tell you, remember, the best leaders lead every day.